Hey bikers, thanks for tuning in to Biker Man. Today I am taking my first ride since the kids started back in school. Oh, the freedom. So, school starting. It's an interesting time of year, especially if you're a parent and partially stay-at-home dad like myself. I work a couple days a week, but I also, kind of responsible for all the dad duties, cooking and cleaning and whatnot around the house. And so when summer comes, it's a time when my hobbies kind of go on hold a little bit. It's harder to get a ride in. It's harder to get time to myself. And I don't say that as a complaint, because summer is also the only time that I get to spend so much uninterrupted time with my kids. But when the kids go back to school, here in North Texas, it's in August. When they go back in early August, it's always a time for me of kind of reflection, almost like maybe rebirth is a little strong of a word, but it's a new beginning, because the kids are starting in new classes with new friends and new teachers, and they've got their spiffy new clothes, and so you're with them pretty much nonstop all summer. And this summer was super busy with, road trips and going to the lake and the pool and their sports and theater and friends and sleepovers. But you go from doing all of that to them suddenly being gone, and you suddenly having time to go on a bike ride on a Friday morning. Or whatever morning you want to, because you now don't have to take care of the kids, and so for me, it's a time where I always think back to where the kids are, or where they've come over the last 12 months, and we've got one that's starting in high school, one that's starting in junior high, we've got a first grader. And I just think dang, where were we 12 months ago? What were they all doing, and what were we doing as a family? And man, the years, not to mention the summers, are just like fly by faster and faster. And, speaking honestly, I think when I was a little younger, when they were a little younger, I guess, dreaded the summers a little bit more. Because of how much work it is to kind of keep them busy and keep them entertained in the summer, especially with the distractions of phones and TVs and tablets and all of that, but for some reason this year, and on this ride in particular, I was reflecting on and thinking about how few summers I have left with the girls, and then beyond that, how little time in general I have left with them before they go out and if they go to college, if they get married, but if they have kids, great, but whatever they end up doing, it's gonna not be with my wife and I. We're not gonna be the time when we're not all going to be in the house together and going to the lake and going to going to Oregon on vacation. The times where we do that stuff together is shrinking, or a majority of that time is behind us. And so this was a very reflective day for me, being the first ride back with the kids back in school. And truthfully, I think being outside is, whether it's hiking or biking or fishing or whatever else, it is a time where I reflect, because it's a time where there's so many fewer distractions. And so yeah, it just happened that this was the sort of these were the thoughts in my mind on this particular day. And I don't think it hurt that I took a very similar ride last year for their first day back at school. So, seeing, how the woods have changed and the trails have changed, and then thinking about how I've changed and how all the things, in our lives have changed. It's just, it's a little benefit, I think, to writing that maybe I take for granted a lot of the time. The opportunity that it is to just have, sort of quiet around you. It's clarifying for the mind. So anyway, that's what this ride was all about. I was at my local trails, and you can see they're in real great shape. It sort of finally became summer, and it was very warm and humid on this morning. I was sweating pretty bad, but the trails have all dried out. I think, the rain is hopefully all behind us. Do you guys remember that little crossover there? My nemesis. I fell on that in a previous video. So, but yeah, the weather looks beautiful. Hopefully it'll be a dry fall, and I can get a lot more videos out to you. I've since taken a couple of rides since this one, so it's so far so good with the I guess fall or school year break for me as a dad. So I'll be able to get more videos out. This is a little flower garden at our community center. I just thought this was cool. The butterflies are flying around like crazy. Monarchs on that coneflower. Actually, I'm not sure they're on the coneflower, but those are some native flowers there. They're on them. It's pretty cool. But anyway, when you guys go riding, are you just 100% into the ride and into the shredding and, the trails and the jumps or whatever? Or do you guys use that as a time to reflect on things that are going on in your life? And if so, what kinds of things do you guys, like to think through when you're on a ride? Yeah, it's definitely a time for me to enjoy my surroundings, but also just to, let my mind run wild a little bit. So yeah, let me know your thoughts below. If you've watched this far, I appreciate it. And if you could like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it so I can get more to you. Thank you so much. I'll see you out there.